You may be wondering where in the country I am. This simple piece of fruit offers two vital clues. Not only is this county famous for its agriculture, growing wheat, barley and rapeseed, this country residence behind me is home to an important scientific discovery, one that keeps you and I firmly rooted to the ground. On today's show, we're helping a couple find an English country treat to go alongside their slice of American pie. And we've got mouth-watering properties on the menu, some of which come in generous portions.
I wasn't expecting anything this size.
And others that aren't quite to taste.
It's a little small for a master bedroom.
And we dish up something that's totally irresistible. Can you say that again for me, Van?
This is what I want.
I'm in Lincolnshire, and it was here at Woolsthorpe Manor that one of the county's most famous residents observed the falling of a single apple. Now, many before him had seen apples fall, but it was Sir Isaac Newton who first questioned the scientific implications of such a simple event. Now, we're not hoping to rediscover the laws of gravity, but we are hoping to make some discoveries of our own that could have a significant impact on the lives and living arrangements of one lucky couple. Lying up against the east coast, Lincolnshire borders 8 other counties, including a tiny 19-metre stretch that's shared with Northamptonshire, making it the shortest county boundary in England. Lincolnshire's landscape varies from the 50 miles of attractive North Sea coastline to the low-lying marshlands of the Fens. Such unspoilt vistas have been preserved partly because there's no major motorway network here. The extensive patchwork fields of rich, fertile soil have been shaped by agriculture for more than 4,000 years and generate more fresh produce than any other county. With much of its land given over to farming, there's little room left for the small population who live here. But some might say that makes it the perfect place for those chasing a truly rural escape. So for potential buyers looking for some peace and quiet, the lack of a major motorway is actually a major positive. And it's not the only one. The house prices in Lincolnshire are some of the lowest across the country. The average detached house here will cost you £128,000. Now that is an astonishing 28% lower than the national average. If you head to Harmston, you could get an attractive family home for a fraction under £390,000. This 4-bed property has a sitting room with an inglenook fireplace, 2 further receptions and a large kitchen breakfast room. Or further south in Grantham, you could live the country dream for £825,000. This elegant 4-bedroom house has an immaculate kitchen and spacious reception rooms, designed to take in the views across the delightful rear garden. But if you can dig deep to the tune of £1.5 million, you'll get a serious amount of house in the form of this grandiose Victorian abode in Northorpe. Built in Norman Revival style, it has 8 bedrooms, a bright country kitchen and opulent reception rooms featuring colossal cornicing. And this beautiful property sits in grounds of 6 acres that reach as far as the eye can see. Well, Lincolnshire certainly has an abundance of rural retreats, so let's hope our property search helps today's buyers find a perfect slice of country living. Today's house hunters are Stuart and Van, who live in this bungalow near Northallerton. Van is a Yorkshire lass born and bred, and Stuart has spent most of his working life in the county. But when they retired 2 years ago, they decided to spread their wings in search of a new adventure.
At the moment, we have a property in Florida, in Naples. It's very nice. We're a couple of miles away from the beach. We can cycle everywhere. We can walk to places. It's just a great lifestyle.
With their transatlantic aspirations satisfied by the Floridian sun for half of the year, they're looking for a new location this side of the pond to see them through the summer months.
We do like the English countryside, and we want somewhere where we can enjoy that. One of the things I do want is a good golf course within the area.
Yes.
We do need to have that because we both play golf.
Not only must the location match their recreational needs, but they also want more amenities to hand as well.
This village just doesn't have the facilities that we want. There isn't a corner shop. In this village, we have to get the car out just to go for the newspaper.
And Stuart has a clear and simple philosophy on how to support rural life.
Obviously, you're not going to do your all your weekly shop at the local corner shop, but you need to use it. You need to go to the pub. You need to use local.
Bar up.
Yeah, and have a bar meal there once a week. Go to the local restaurants. Use them, because if you don't, they won't be here in another 10 years' time.
So, aside from more local facilities, what type of property are they looking for?
We're not looking for a large house. We're looking for something no bigger than our existing property. We certainly would be happy if it was slightly smaller. We only want a garden that is manageable.
It must have at least 2 bedrooms. If not a kitchen diner as one, it must have the ability to be able to create the open plan atmosphere that we like.
And the fourth must-have for me, it must have the ability for us to put together an ensuite bathroom off our main bedroom.
And Stuart has very particular ideas about what he wants from the outside space.
One of the things I did when I first moved in here was to set up this vegetable patch. And when we move, I really must have an area where we can put the same sort of system in here.
To find the perfect English countryside to complement their American lifestyle, they've decided to head south. But what has drawn them to Lincolnshire?
This is the area that we decided was within a distance of Yorkshire that people would come, and would give us somewhere that we know a little bit about, but not a lot about.
Their bungalow is just about to go on the market, so let's find out from a local agent what it's worth.
This is an immaculately presented property in a village in North Yorkshire. I would value this property at £355,000.
So what's the final budget for this Lincolnshire move?
Our budget for the new property is around about £280,000.
The problem is that it's becoming an all too familiar tale that village shops, local pubs and local post offices are closing down all across the country. In 2009, there were 400 closures of village shops. Now, in Lincolnshire, people are certainly taking things into their own hands. Cooperatives are becoming more popular, and they've already got 2 in this county. So fingers crossed there'll be more following suit soon. As for the house, we need to find something compact. It's got to have a contemporary interior and a south-facing garden. Let's get going. Stuart and Van want to be within reasonable travelling distance of their old mates back home in Yorkshire, but they also have friends down in Cambridgeshire. So we'll be concentrating our house search on the villages in South Lincolnshire, between the bigger towns of Grantham and Spalding. We've got some great homes on offer to tempt our buyers, but as ever, I'll be keeping my lips sealed as to the prices. And to top it off, we've also got the mystery property, which could add an unexpected historic dimension to their house quest.
Oh, great shot.
Wow, that's a fantastic shot. Lovely to meet you there.
Nice to meet you.
Hey, Stuart.
Nice to meet you, Denise.
So was it the golf courses that first enticed you down to Lincolnshire?
Well, we certainly need a good golf course.
need one,
Wherever we
yes.
live, we need to be able to get within short distance of a decent golf course, yes.
And I'm presuming your time in Florida means you've had plenty of practice.
We have, and you've been having all this snow, rain, hail, freezing cold weather, and we've been basking in the sunshine. It's been
Rub
wonderful.
it in. Rub it in. But Yorkshire is also beautiful. It's a great place to live. So why Yorkshire to Lincolnshire?
I've been there all my life, and I think we've got no dependents now, we've nobody to look after. It's time for ourselves. We can have an adventure and move on, and as long as we're not too far away from all our friends there, you know, it's going to be good.
And not only will you be close to your old friends, you can meet new ones because you want to get stuck into community life.
We do, yes. I used to be a parish councillor in the village that we used to live in. So, that's the sort of thing I want to do. I want to get involved in the community. I want to play some tennis. I'd like to be able to go to a tennis club and join a club and not just play golf, play tennis as well. And
Meet people in the local pub.
yeah,
Enjoy
that's important.
Yeah, very important, of course.
So we've got to get you going on this adventure. How urgent is the move?
Well, I had a phone call yesterday while we were as we were driving down here, and the estate agent who's working for us thinks he might have a buyer for us, and we've only just put it on the market last week, so that's good news.
That's brilliant news, and it means the pressure is on us to find you the perfect home.
It is.
Yeah.
So come on, that's enough golf. Let's get going. So for £275,000, Stuart and Van want to downsize into a cosy house in South Lincolnshire that has at least 2 bedrooms. They've specified an ensuite to the master bedroom and the ability to create a kitchen diner, as they both prefer a modern open-plan layout. Outside, they'd like a manageable, south-facing garden. Fundamental to the move is to be within walking distance of a buzzing village that has a few shops and a public house where they can socialise. And lastly, the location needs to be within easy reach of a golf course. So, with all of that in mind, it's time to tee off. How did you make your decision in Florida?
We rented a property over there, and as soon as we got there and looked at the community and how everybody accepted us straight away and was so friendly, that was just a done deal. Within 3 weeks, we'd bought a property.
Well, we haven't got 3 weeks, we've got just a couple of days to find their summer digs. So let's get straight to our first property, which is in Billingborough, towards South Lincolnshire. At the heart of Billingborough is a spring, known as Spring Wells, which provides a focal point for the village. It's a relatively small place, but has a shop, post office, a small bank, and not one, but 2 pubs. Just a short walk from the village centre takes us to the quiet cul-de-sac where our first house is located. And here we are.
Well, this looks quite
Looks
big.
a nice house.
Looks nice.
Yes,
Yeah.
this is big,
It
yes.
is
I wasn't
quite big,
expecting
yes.
anything this
Yeah.
size.
No, I thought you'd find us a tiny little place.
What are your feelings, Van?
I think it's quite very nice, actually. I just can't wait to get inside.
Really? I thought you might enjoy the palm trees, a taste of Florida in
yes,
Lincolnshire.
yes.
But that's the outside, you're right. Let's
Yeah.
have a look indoors.
OK.
Immediately, the size of this modern property is a really pleasant surprise. It was built just 15 years ago, and inside should really suit their penchant for the more contemporary style. Well, the first stop is the lounge.
This is nice size.
I recognise those wall lights.
Yes, they're the same lights as
Same
we have
lights
at
as
home.
Really? And my first question was going to be, how does this compare to your current home?
Exactly the same lights.
That's same lights, so they've got a good taste. Not a huge space, but it's quite light.
Windows are nice.
Yeah.
Windows at the front, the side, and then the French doors at the back.
It's a good start.
Yes,
It is a good
yes,
start.
Yes.
Yeah.
Positive little bit of smile there. Great. Well, as you can see, it leads on to another room, so let's have a look around there.
OK.
So it opens out into this.
Oh, not as large as I expected, but whether our dining table would fit in here,
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure it would. It's quite a large
It's
one.
a nice room.
Yeah, it's a nice room,
light and
yeah.
airy, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure our table would fit in.
No.
How big's the table?
Seats 10.
Oh, yes.
It's a table I'd like to keep.
Okay, that was my question. Does the house have to fit the table? If you had found the right house, would you compromise on the table?
Possibly.
Yes.
Possibly.
I think
yes,
that's...
but,
We
yes.
obviously we would,
Yeah,
yes.
yes.
You can't live for a table, can you?
No, you
Oh, I don't know,
can't,
some people
no.
can.
And we like the idea of having the kitchen dining room so that you can talk to somebody when you're cooking, you can still sit and you don't feel alone in the kitchen.
Reservations about the proportions seem to be somewhat contradictory, as they did say they were looking for somewhere smaller. It seems the idea of scaling back in theory is one thing, but the reality is quite another, especially when they've got prized possessions to fit in. Fortunately, we've got another mealtime option to run by them. So come through and tell me, well, if this sort of kitchen size with some space to dine would work?
It's a little smaller than I would like, but yes, I suppose it could work.
It's nice,
It's
isn't it?
nice,
I like
nice
the
kitchen.
units.
Yes. I think the only thing is as we said before, the not being able to talk to our guests while we're cooking.
Just a different layout,
Just a
isn't
different
it?
layout, yes.
It does have that lovely utility space out there and a downstairs bathroom.
Oh, right.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, that's handy.
Yeah, and then that leads straight out onto the garden as well.
Right, yes.
Well, you're keeping an open mind, I hope.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, very
We
much
are,
so.
yeah.
Well, let's have a look upstairs, because there is a lot more to this property.
Okay.
Follow me. Unexpectedly, space seems to have become a contentious issue at ground level. So time to take it up another level to see how the first floor fares. We've got a lovely galleried landing here.
Yes,
It is nice.
yes, it's nice. Makes it
And
nice and open.
first 2 bedrooms. Not the largest, but I think they're plenty adequate, and you've got nice light. A good-sized family bathroom. The master bedroom.
Oh, this is nice. Oh, look at
That's
that.
nice. And the dressing area.
Nice dressing area.
That's right.
Yeah, it's lovely. And his and hers dressing tables as well.
Well, the little extras make all the difference, don't they? They can really make a room work
Yeah,
for
well,
you.
this is a nice big space as well.
Yes,
It's a
it
nice
is.
big room, and with that area on it, it's lovely.
And something else that I know is important to you, there is an ensuite just behind here. Come and have a look.
Oh, this is nice.
This is nice. I like this.
Yes.
Yeah, brand
It's
new,
got a
just done.
Yeah, you can
Yes.
see that, and then you can see the fitting. The shower's lovely.
How are you feeling now? The smile is widening.
Well, it's a lot more spacious upstairs.
It can't be. I know. It's the first floor.
Law
but
of averages.
It seems bigger upstairs than it does downstairs.
But But it's very nice.
It is, it's lovely.
I like this.
But that's not all. Up yet another flight of stairs to the second floor, there's also a family shower room and the last 2 double bedrooms, which are flooded with light from the skylight windows. Overall, this property certainly isn't lacking when it comes to accommodation. Inside, there's plenty of room to entertain and put up guests. But outside, will the garden be the perfect place for Stuart's veggie plot? So the good news about your garden is that it's southwest facing.
Oh, that's lovely. Yeah. It's a nice garden.
It's a lovely garden. The only problem I've got is my vegetables. I have an area that's probably about
Half
the size of this garden that I use for vegetables at home. It's something I would want to do when we move.
And that's interesting, because I thought this garden would probably be just about the right size for you.
It is,
and
as a garden,
maintainable.
yes.
And given that you're away 6 months of the year, perhaps you wouldn't want to do that, but you need a bit more space then.
It's ideal as a garden. It's a lovely garden. If there was just a little...
If there was a bit of veg...
little area around the corner that was just
that would
hidden
be
away, that would be fabulous. But
Well, it could be a compromise you're willing to make when you find out how much this property's worth, which is what we're going to discuss now. Let's come over here, because you can get a good look at the garden and, more importantly, back at this house. Drum roll.
how much?
Van. I'm going to start with you.
I don't know. It's very hard. I'd say probably about 275.
Okay.
I would go 285. Maybe 290.
And you think that would be a fair sum for this property?
It's a lovely big property.
It's a lovely big property.
Brace yourselves. Property's on the market at £250,000.
Well,
that's worth thinking
That does
about.
surprise me.
It's another consideration then.
Yes, it is.
That smile's coming through again. So it certainly gives you quite a lot to think about.
It does, yes.
It does.
So why don't you have another little meander around, and I will see you later on to see what you've come up with.
Right.
But there's a lot to think about, so get
Absolutely, yes.
considering.
Thank you very much.
All right, bye. Well, there you go. They thought it was too big for them, then they thought it was too small, but overall, they get a lot of house for their money, and you can see the little cogs going round in their head. But I thought they wanted to downsize, so that's what we still have to explore. So, at a surprising £25,000 under budget, this large modern house is laid out over 3 stories and is on the market for £250,000. And at that price, they'll only have to pay a 1% stamp duty, which could save them even more cash than they anticipated. It comes with 5 bedrooms, and the master bedroom has its own ensuite. Downstairs, there are 2 reception rooms, a newly fitted kitchen breakfast room, and outside, the garden has that all-important south-facing aspect. And what's more, the property is situated in a village that has all the vital amenities open for business.
And this garden's lovely. It faces south. It's not overlooked. It's a really nice garden. But there's nowhere for me to grow the vegetables. If I grew them in the garden, we'd step out of the French doors onto cabbages and cauliflowers, which is not really ideal.
It's a lovely property. It's very, very nice. Been beautifully done. But I think the layout is just not quite what we're looking for.
Aha, you found your way back out of the TARDIS.
Yes.
Well, that was just the first property. We've still got a lot to do, so let's keep moving.
OK, fine.
Van and Stuart have chosen Lincolnshire for its central position and the value for money the county offers. But beyond that, they know little else about the area. So a good starting point is a visit to Lincoln, where they're meeting up with local expert Brian Taylor for a guided tour. Lincoln is the county's oldest city. Its heritage started back in the 1st century, when the Romans conquered Lincolnshire and built a fortress here. One of the few remains left from the original Roman town is the Newport Arch.
AD 47, the Romans arrived here at Lincoln, and this became a colony town, which meant the legionnaires could retire here. And this is the northern entrance exit to that Roman city. Started probably in the 3rd century, this archway, and it's the only Roman archway in the British Isles through which traffic can drive.
With over 2,000 years of history, the city's long legacy can be traced through its architecture. But it was probably the Normans who left the finest reminders of the past, including the majestic castle built by William the Conqueror in 1086 and the magnificent cathedral. The original cathedral building was damaged by fire and an earthquake, and apart from one wall, it was rebuilt in medieval Gothic style during the 13th century. But maintaining this prominent landmark is a continuous task.
Running across the front of the cathedral, you can see a medieval frieze. If you look on the left-hand side, you can see the lighter coloured ones. That has been recreated by our cathedral stonemasons. The old frieze, which dated from probably the 1140s at least, that was so badly polluted they had to take it down. It took 12 years for our cathedral stonemasons to faithfully recreate that frieze.
Over £1 million every year is spent keeping the cathedral in shape, and works manager Carol Hyde-Schuster is taking Stuart and Van behind the scenes. Through a dedicated workforce of skilled craftsmen and women, preserving the cathedral's stonework, sculptures, leadwork and stained glass is done using processes that have changed very little since the medieval period. There are over 700 plain and historic stained glass windows in the cathedral, which become dirty and brittle over time, and it's a painstaking task to repair them.
This is a training panel.
Right.
It's to show the different elements of putting a stained glass window together. And the design of that is taken from a design in the cathedral. And as a little surprise, here's one we made earlier.
Oh, that's lovely.
And we'd like to present this on behalf of Lincoln Cathedral, welcoming you to Lincolnshire, and hope you found your dream home.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you.
With a fine souvenir from their time in Lincoln, they'll need the perfect Lincolnshire home where it can hang pride of place. We're travelling 20 minutes east for our second property into the quiet countryside of Gosburton, 7 miles north of Spalding. Gosburton is quite a large village with a good selection of facilities, including a doctor, a dentist, 2 shops and a pub. And right in the heart of the village is our second house. But despite its central location, it has a real sense of being off the beaten track. Tucked at the end of this very long driveway is the property I want to show you. Have a look at that.
This is a surprise at the back here, yes.
Very surprising.
So, first impressions?
Good,
nice.
yes,
Nice,
I like it, yes.
Let's have a look inside.
Yeah, wonderful.
It's an impressive approach up to the house through a generous front garden, and already I think they're beginning to feel the potential here. But downsizing, this is not. First room, the kitchen. Come in here.
Oh, Stuart. That's nice.
Yes, I like that.
Yes.
Is this more you?
Yes, it is.
Yes,
The
definitely.
ability to have the more open plan look.
Yes.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yes, I like it.
Would your big glass table fit in there?
Can we have a look?
Do you want to have a look down there, sure?
I think at a push we'd get it in.
Yeah, we don't need anything else in the room, either. We don't have a sideboard or anything like that. We only have the table because you're next to the kitchen and you can store everything in the kitchen.
In there.
Well, you know, not everything you need is in there because all your white goods are out there. So you've got a huge utility room as well.
Oh, lovely. Yes.
And then that leads on to the garden. It's still not the hugest space, but it's just the layout that seems to be.
Yes,
Yes.
Yes, I think it is.
I think it is. Yeah, it's a different. It seems to have more space, usable space for us because of the way we like to live.
Fantastic! The kitchen diner is hitting all the right notes. So with the cooking and eating sorted, let's find them somewhere to relax. So the other side, a similar sized space, but it's all dedicated to the living room.
Again, the dual aspect windows.
Yes.
Light
So you've got the
coming in
light
from both
coming in
sides.
from both sides, absolutely. All of that's very modern contemporary, and so is the fireplace, but what I love about the fireplace is it's working and it's an open fire, so that
Right.
just adds that sort of rural feel, I think.
Yes,
it does.
Yes. This is nice. Yes.
Yeah, it's good.
Better than nice, go on.
Oh, it's a lovely surprise.
All right. Well, out here you've also got a downstairs cloakroom just there, so they've made really good use of the space. But now let's have a look upstairs.
Okay.
There are 3 bedrooms in this house. Just to our left here, we've got one of the smaller guest rooms. But let's have a look at this bedroom over here. And this one is currently being used as the master bedroom.
Oh. It's a little small for a master bedroom.
Yeah, I can see what you mean.
Yeah.
As I said, it's currently being used as the
Yeah.
master, so I'll show you another one.
Okay,
Which
okay.
has previously been the master. So if you think of it as a guest bedroom, what do you think?
Yes, this is about the size of our guest bedroom at home.
It is,
Where we
yes.
are now.
Yeah.
So, yes, this would be more than adequate as a guest bedroom.
And I think it's got a lovely view.
Oh, can I have a look?
Of course.
Oh, this is nice. You look right down the drive. And the lake. Very nice.
So a good guest
Yes, it
bedroom.
is.
Let's have a look then at what could be the master.
Okay.
Okay.
They may have to compromise on size in this house, but they are getting one more bedroom than they asked for. So here we are.
Well, this is interesting.
Yeah. And it is slightly bigger, and the positioning is great. And just look out there.
Yes, that's beautiful.
Now you can really take in that lake.
Yes, I like this. It's not big.
It's not,
but
no.
it's big enough, I think.
Yes, nice size.
You like this place, don't you?
I think so.
I can tell because you haven't said, but there's no ensuite.
We thought you might have had something up your sleeve.
I tucked it away in that wardrobe there. Sorry to disappoint you, I haven't. But I think when you see the bathroom, you might understand why there's no ensuite.
Okay.
Let's go and have a look. This is the amount of space they have devoted to the bathroom.
This is a nice bathroom.
It's a lovely size, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
It's grand.
Yes, it is.
It's grand.
So with a bathroom this size, would you still need an ensuite? I mean, how do you feel? It's not the biggest house, really.
I suppose it could be workable for a while until we could maybe get a solution.
It's worth thinking about, yes.
I like that.
Yes.
It's worth thinking about. You haven't written it off because there's no ensuite.
No.
That's the spirit.
Be positive.
Be positive. Well, Stuart, there's a lot to be positive about outside, starting with the garden's aspect. This garden is south-facing from the back here. Now come out and have a look. What do you think?
This is nice.
This is lovely.
It's a lovely garden, yes.
I mean, this house, all in all, is just sort of a little island, isn't it?
It is.
In amongst, so you're very near to people, yet you have your own space.
Yes.
It's a little oasis in the middle of the
It
village.
is.
It's lovely.
Golf club, only a mile and a half away.
Right.
Right.
That's good.
Sunny evenings out here. You've got a patio space, and I think there's enough room for a vegetable patch.
There is.
But you're the expert.
No,
so
there
tell
is.
me.
I mean, you could certainly use this corner here, and it wouldn't impinge on the garden. That's big enough.
It's certainly big enough, as the garden here wraps itself all the way around the property. This house ticks a lot of the right boxes for both Stuart and Van. So what do they think it's worth?
It is nice.
Nice?
Certainly.
How nice?
Very nice. Yes.
Very nice,
More than nice. Yes.
So how much do you think it's worth?
Oh, your turn.
Oh, right, okay.
You forgot, didn't you?
I forgot about this. Yeah. Let me guess. 265.
I might push it a little bit more. 270.
270.
That's close.
Would it be in the running even at that price for you?
It's a possibility.
Yeah, I think it would.
Yeah, I think it would be a possibility.
Well, get this. This is on the market at 249,995.
Never.
£5 short of 250 grand.
Oh, wow.
Again, back in the 1% stamp duty.
There you go.
You've done well.
And there's still more for you to explore, so why don't you have a wander around and, well, I'll see you later on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For a fiver less than £250,000, this house is yet again under budget, leaving loads of money left over to put towards flights to Florida. Located in the village centre, this handsome detached property is in a great position to take advantage of the local amenities without compromising on privacy. Outside, there's bags of room for growing vegetables, and inside, the open-plan kitchen diner makes the perfect place to cook and consume the crop. There are 3 bedrooms and a massive family bathroom, but will they be able to reconfigure the layout to squeeze in their much-desired ensuite?
From that post there
About here.
to about here, and then go back to maybe there.
Yeah.
And
And
if
you
you
could
did
get
it in
dressing area, bathroom and study. I could see myself living in this property, yes. It's a very nice property. With a little bit of an addition to one side, I'm sure we could manage to make that into a very, very nice place.
The location's great. You come up the driveway, the garden sits around the house. I can have my vegetable patch. It's a lovely house, and it's just the sort of house that we were looking for.
I think they're in love with this house. So much so, I'm not sure if I'm going to get them out. Hello? Come on, it's not yours just yet. No. We've still got the mystery house to look at. So let's get a move on. So, with Stuart and Van reflecting on the 2 properties they've seen so far, the first day of our house hunt draws to a close. With a budget of £275,000, Stuart and Van want an English country home in Lincolnshire to complement their American winter abode. So far, our search has served up 2 great houses.
It's a little oasis in the middle of the village.
But words can't even describe what's coming up in the mystery property.
Denise, this is speechless.
Speechless. After yesterday, it's very clear that for Stuart and Van, this move is all about the lifestyle. The property details, yes, they're important, but what they're looking for is open plan living. You certainly get open spaces here in Lincolnshire, and property number 2 seemed to do it for them. Today, it's all about the mystery house, and while it's a property they would never have looked at, I'm pretty sure about that. Open plan living's what you want, it's what they're going to get. What would be your worst nightmare for this mystery house?
What would be the worst nightmare for you?
Well, not having outside space, I think, would be the real nightmare.
Yeah.
We do need somewhere to be able to sit outside, to barbecue, to do a little bit of gardening, to do relaxing, and for me to grow my vegetables.
Well, Stuart may have to rethink his planting methods for the mystery property, which takes us back out west towards Grantham and into the attractive village of Folkingham. This small village grew out of what was once a meeting place for traders, farmers and robbers. Today, the market square forms its hub with tea rooms, a pub and even a chocolate shop. But the square is dominated by a 17th century former coaching inn, and behind its historic Georgian facade, our mystery property is revealed. Before we go in and have a look at the apartment, it is an apartment. So let me set the scene there. And obviously we've been looking at detached homes for you. And what are your feelings about that?
It's not something I would have looked at.
Not something I would have looked at either.
We've thought about an apartment maybe in the future.
Yeah.
It's certainly something we wouldn't have to worry about looking after when we're not here.
No.
Just shut up the door and go.
Yeah. So it's all about fitting your lifestyle, really, isn't it?
I think it is.
All right, I won't hold back anymore. I can see Van's face just going, show me this apartment.
Just show me it.
I'm going to show it to you because I'm convinced you will be impressed.
Right,
Come on.
okay.
This ground floor mystery apartment is a low-maintenance option, making it an ideal lock-up and leave for our buyers who are essentially expats for 6 months of the year. So, lifestyle.
Oh.
This is a lovely room.
This is drama. High drama.
The kitchen. Look that way.
Denise, this is speechless.
Speechless.
This is lovely.
This is wonderful.
Yeah. This is what I want.
Let's just preserve that moment. Can you say that again for me, Van?
This is what I want.
Wow. See, I knew you would like it.
This is the sort of living, the space, the kitchen and the living area being as one.
The kitchen's all brand new. You've got oak worktops. Your fridge and freezer are in here, but towards the back you can put your washing machine, etc. You don't have to keep it out here.
It would be a shame to put them in here.
And it's very modern and fresh and clean. It's a fabulous start. Not only does this place have the modern open-plan living arrangement they're after, but it's combined with an historic elegance that they never imagined.
What a lovely fireplace this is. And obviously put this canopy in so that you can use it as a real live fire.
You can indeed. You can then again look back at the size of this room. That big glass table in the middle of the room, maybe?
Yes.
Maybe. And when the fire's lit in that enormous Inglenook fireplace, maybe they could be tempted back for the winter months as well. But let's see what's on offer in the sleeping quarters. Down the long hallway there are 2 double bedrooms, the smallest of which has another enormous fireplace, but we're going to take a look at the larger of the 2. So this is one of the 2 bedrooms. Nice and light,
Yes,
but
lovely.
what do you think?
It's a little bit small.
You need to use a bit of imagination because it is an unfurnished apartment at the moment.
Right, yes.
Newly
You've got
developed.
it.
Yeah.
So it's, take some time, do your measurements, etc. But I can see, so you could get some good wardrobes on this side and a bed. Now, there isn't an ensuite here, but right at the end of the hallway, there's a spacious modern family bathroom. And with the tour of the flat complete, it's time to view the secluded garden. So here's your garden. It's an apartment, so you've got a fitting garden. It's not the hugest, but you've got lots of little spots I think you can enjoy. So here, sitting out of an evening, glass of wine. Up there, a sort of lawned area potentially, or it could be your vegetable patch.
Certainly could be, yes. It wouldn't be a big one, but it certainly would, it would be adequate.
And then if you lead out of that way, you've got a communal space, so you can spend some time with your neighbours. And on the other side, you have another patio area. So lots of little spots.
Little spots, yes, to go around. Follow the sun around. Because I don't think it's on this bit, is it?
No, it's not south-facing here, but it is feeling quite warm, isn't it?
Yes.
It's a sheltered spot, yes, and in the summer it could well be a little sun trap.
Yeah, I can just imagine sitting here with a glass of wine on an evening.
Yeah, well...
Or two. So you're still open-minded towards this property?
I think we are, yes, because I think that the kitchen and living space is really good. It's really exactly what the sort of thing we're looking for.
Well, it all depends on the price then, doesn't it? Gosh. Van, I'm going to start with you.
Oh, 255.
255?
I know, a bit high maybe, but yeah.
Well, that's I don't know. I'm not going that high. I'd go 225.
And you are warmer than you've been before. I'm afraid, Van, you lose this one. The price is 229,950.
Okay.
So
Yes.
you were just under there, but you know, around about the right mark. You have that wander round anyway and start thinking about what you do, and I will see you later on.
Okay.
At £229,950, this apartment is again under budget, to the tune of some £45,000. It's one of 10 luxurious modern apartments which have been tastefully converted from an historic former coaching inn. There are 2 double bedrooms, a family bathroom, and huge open-plan kitchen, dining and living areas, ideally suited to their preferred way of living. And rather unusually for a property of this type, it comes with its own private garden, as well as communal areas. Now, they have said they want to downsize, but are they really ready for such a step?
I think the open plan kitchen, diner, living space is quite nice. It's a workable area. There's a lot of lounge there to work with. It's just a shame it all lacks a bit of storage, for my mind.
Yeah.
But I suppose there's such a large area above us, and maybe a mezzanine would fit in.
As a property, it's a lovely property. I think this room, this space, the fireplace and the light, airy space of this room is lovely. And that's the sort of thing that we were looking for. It is lack of storage space that would be the problem for me, and lack of garden, in all honesty.
Yeah. You would miss your garden.
I'm not quite ready yet. Maybe in another 10 years' time I might be ready for something like this, but I'm not sure now.
Yeah.
That is it, the end of the amazing adventure in Lincolnshire. You've seen all the houses. Let's find somewhere for you to sit down and have a think. Okay? Lincolnshire has a rich farming tradition, and one of the county's most famous exports must be its sausages. But currently, the Lincolnshire sausage can be produced anywhere in the country. So 5 years ago, a campaign was established to get protected geographical indication status, so they can't be called a Lincolnshire sausage if they're made anywhere outside of the county, which should give a real boost to the county's smaller butchers and farmers. The earliest recorded reference to the recipe dates back to 1886, and I've come to Market Raisin, where butcher Nick Bradley is going to demonstrate the art of making an authentic Lincolnshire sausage. Hi, Nick.
Hi, Nick. How are you?
Good to see you. Right, I'm all ready. I've got my apron on, washed and scrubbed up, and I can see you're ready too.
Yeah, we're going to make £20 of Lincolnshire sausages.
£20 worth. And this looks like we've got proper meat here.
Yeah, proper shoulder of pork.
Right.
No rubbish, just quality stuff.
Now, what's the ratio of meat to other ingredients in a proper Lincolnshire sausage?
About 75%.
Once it's coarsely ground, the meat is then seasoned with white pepper, salt and sage, which give the sausage its distinctive herby tang. It's then blended with water and bread rusk, but I can't tell you Nick's exact quantities, as that's a closely guarded secret recipe that's been in his family for over 50 years. How do you feel about other areas making sausages that they then call Lincolnshire sausage?
They should make them in Lincolnshire. If it's a Lincolnshire sausage, it should be made in Lincolnshire. You know, it's like a bit like Melton Mowbray pork pies made in Melton Mowbray. It's the county's recipe, should be made in Lincolnshire.
Pig intestines are soaked in salt and water to make the casings, and after being shown the ropes, it's my turn to have a go.
So nice and slow, gently does it. The slower you go, the better. So away you go.
Slow,
slowly, gentle.
Oh, and nothing's happening. Oh.
That's it now, that's it.
Oh, it's a bit thin.
Keep your fingers on there.
Oh, yes, on there, sorry.
That's it, and that'll regulate it.
OK, stop that.
They'll be perfectly all right, we don't mind any sort of size.
Oh, my God,
They're perfect, they're perfect. Nothing wrong with them at all.
Well, it looks like my sausage-making skills won't get me to the top of the class. And now lessons are over, the real proof of the pork is in the tasting.
You get the taste of the sage, the pepper.
Really?
Not overly strong, just a nice flavour, our Lincolnshire sausage should
Absolutely,
be.
it's got flavour, it's not too spicy.
Yeah, there's no gristle, there's no, you know what I mean, it's just shoulder meat, the best you can get.
How many of these do you eat a day?
We make £200, but I'm not going to eat them all.
And now it's only a matter of time to find out whether the campaign is successful, allowing Lincolnshire folk to bring their great British product back home. So the mystery house went quite well, a great reception from them, although they do still have some misgivings about the amount of space. But we've shown them a good variety at some great prices here in Lincolnshire, and now it's time to find out if any of our homes are for them. Oh, hello, you two.
Hello.
The end of our journey together, getting you on this move down from Yorkshire to Lincolnshire. And we've seen a lot of properties, haven't we?
We have.
We've had a bit of a chance now to mull it over a bit. So I want to go through them one at a time and see if you've made any decisions. Let's start right back at the beginning with that wonderful 5-bedroom house, which you didn't expect it to have quite so much space.
Well, I certainly thought the upstairs was much better than the downstairs.
It was the layout of the downstairs that you had issues with, wasn't it? It was the kind of separated rooms.
The kitchen and the dining room weren't next to each other, so you couldn't even knock them together. You were just stuck with the rooms as they were.
The second property, now that was a surprise, wasn't it? Because we had that sweeping drive and it was set right back, so you didn't really know it was there.
From the outside, it was lovely. And the inside as well. I thought the inside was... Well, maybe you can...
Rooms were slightly smaller than I would have liked. And the kitchen, although it was lovely and maybe the way we would have liked it, I still felt it was a little bit small and a little bit confined for me.
The garden, though, was spectacular. The way it just engulfed the whole property. Plenty of room for your vegetable patch.
Yes.
It was a super garden.
And looking down onto that lake and the woodland behind.
The view from the bedrooms was just stunning.
And then there was the mystery.
Yes.
Oh, what a mystery.
Definitely one that you would not have put on your list, I'm guessing.
No, not at all.
No. I mean, the first impression when I walked through the door was stunning, the space in the main living area. But sadly for me, it lacked a lot of storage area. The bedrooms were small.
It's the sort of property that living away for 6 months of the year, you'd think, well, that's what you want. You want to be able to lock it up and go away. And maybe if I was a little bit older and not as active as I am now and didn't really want to do the garden, that would be an ideal property.
Does that mean this experience has helped you reprioritise or reassess what your needs are?
I think yes,
Yeah, I think it has.
helped
It's
a lot.
really
Yes,
helped, yeah.
We can now look at things with fresh eyes again and see that what our criteria is.
Can you tell us, were any of our properties something that would hit your shortlist that you might consider putting an offer in on?
Of the three, I think the second one, certainly...
The house with the drive.
There's a lot of ticks for that.
Yeah.
So your next steps are to speak to the agents?
I don't know, do you want me to do that? Or
I'm going to leave that one entirely to you. You're the man who has the final decision. Yeah.
I'd like to talk to them about it, yes.
Well, it's certainly been a pleasure sharing this part of the journey with you.
Thank you all very much.
It's been a real pleasure.
It's been a good experience,
Thank you. For Van and Stuart, after so long living in Yorkshire, the move down to Lincolnshire was always going to be a big adventure. Now, I think property 2 could work for them, and at least they're going back to have another look. But it may take just a bit more time before they're really ready to make their escape to the country. I'll see you next time. If you would like to escape to the country in Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland or England and would like our help, please apply online at bbc.co.uk/be on a show.